Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz. This is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Saturday, January 28th, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $15 Bank Shop best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, we got a loaded Saturday card in college hoops. Let's get into it. Here are the games for Saturday, January 28th. First up, we go to the Big East Conference as Xavier takes on Creighton. This one's going to be 12:15 Eastern on CBS. It's a rematch game between these two. They played in an excellent game in the first meeting back on January 11th. That was a home game for Xavier. It was a 90-87 final score in favor of the Musketeers. But now Creighton's won 3 straight games, including a blowout win last time out against St. John's, 104-76. They also beat Providence back on January 14th, so you could argue Creighton is playing its best basketball of the year. And Xavier, they're playing great ball themselves. You look at their win last time out against UConn, they were underdogs by about 6.5 points. They won the game outright and won it 82-79. But when you look at Xavier this season, they haven't really been tested too often on the road. It's really tough to win back-to-back true road games in this type of conference. And I do think with Creighton playing as well as they have, and the fact that Creighton competed with the Musketeers in that first meeting on the road, a tough environment, Creighton hung in there, and they only lost the game by 3 points, depending on the number you got. You either covered with Creighton, maybe you pushed, and the closing line I think it was 2.5 points, so Xavier may have covered there, but I think this is going to be a close game at first as well, but I think Creighton is going to win this game in the end and cover the number. Should be a great game to watch. I wanted to cover it because I know it's one of the bigger games on the board. So give me Creighton here laying the points. Next up, we go to the ACC as Syracuse takes on Virginia Tech. This one's 7 o'clock Eastern on ACC Network. This is another rematch game between these two. They played on January 11th in the Carrier Dome at Syracuse. It was a 10-point win for the Orange, and that one 82-72. But when you look at the numbers in that game, yes, it was a 10-point win, but Syracuse shot 8 of 16, 50% from 3 in that one, while the Hokies shot 3 of 19, 15.8%, so a huge advantage in three-point shooting. You only win that game by 10 points, and that was also a game for Virginia Tech where they were out one of their best three-point shooters in Hunter Couture. He was out for that game. He's now back in the lineup, playing pretty well for Virginia Tech, and that's really important against the Syracuse 2-3 zone where you have to be able to make those three-point jumpers at a good rate, and we see Hunter Couture this season shooting those threes at a 41.1% clip. So, I think Virginia Tech's going to get a big boost with Couture back in the lineup for him. They're coming off a nice win over Duke that snapped the losing streak and played pretty well in that game. I think Virginia Tech overall is built pretty well to play Syracuse. They were shorthanded on the road against them in the first meeting, but now they're at home. Syracuse, we know, plays much better at the Carrier Dome. They're coming off a loss against North Carolina, pretty frustrating loss. I don't really like the form that Syracuse is in. I think Virginia Tech is built to play these types of teams. So give me Virginia Tech here, laying the points. Next up, we go to the SEC Big 12 Challenge as Alabama takes on Oklahoma. This one's going to be 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. So many great games on the board with this SEC Big 12 Challenge. You got games like Auburn, West Virginia, Texas, Tennessee, Kansas, Kentucky. Keontae Johnson facing his former team in Florida. Should be a great day of college hoops, but in this game, I like Alabama laying the points. Oklahoma is not playing great basketball right now. They've lost their last 3 games. They've lost 4 of their last 5 as well. And you look on the numbers offensively, a team that turns the ball over a ton, a team that doesn't get to the free throw line, doesn't get many second chance looks in the offensive rebounds. So it's really an Oklahoma offense that's just reliant on making low percentage shots at high percentage rates. And sure, when you got a guy like Grant Sherfield on your team, you can do that for at least a little while in a majority of the season, but you can't expect it for the entire year, especially in a very tough conference and now a non-conference schedule, facing these tough teams, AP poll ranked teams, and like Alabama's case, number 4 in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency, number 3 in the nation in 3-point defense, 3 in the nation in 2-point field goal defense. Yes, they don't force a lot of turnovers, but this is still a very, very good defensive team. They're very aggressive on the offensive side. They like to speed things up. They're 4th in the country in average possession length. They shoot a ton of three-pointers. Good offensive rebounding team. They like to slow things down a little bit on the defensive end. Like I said, not very aggressive. Don't force those turnovers, but that bodes well against this Oklahoma team that makes mistakes already. They turn the ball over themselves. They don't get those second chance looks. I think Alabama matches up very, very well with this Oklahoma team. Even on the road, I think Alabama wins this game handily. So give me Alabama laying the points on the road. Next up, we see Utah and Oregon in the Pac-12. This one, 8 o'clock Eastern. For me, the only thing that Utah has going for it in this matchup is the fact that it's playing with revenge, as Oregon already beat Utah once this season by 10 points, and that was a road game for Oregon. But we know the Ducks play very well at home. Utah hasn't really been tested too much on the road. When they've stepped it up against top 50 teams in true road games, they've struggled. We saw it against UCLA and USC, where they suffered 2 double-digit losses to both of those teams. The offense and defense struggled in those games. And I don't really trust Utah on the road in this spot, even though they're on a 3-game win streak. You look at their wins, 2 of them were at home. One of them was a true road game, but it was against Oregon State, one of the weakest teams in the conference. So I like the way Oregon's playing overall, especially when they're at home. We saw the big upset win for them against Arizona not too long ago by 19 points. I don't think it's going to be that much of a blowout in this game, but I do think Oregon does enough to win this game and cover the small number in the end. So give me the Oregon Ducks laying the points. And finally, it wouldn't be Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown without covering a whack game. So we're going to talk about Seattle and Stephen F. Austin. This one's going to be 5:30 Eastern on ESPN+. We faded Seattle on the Bank Shop Breakdown when they played in their most recent tough road spot against Sam Houston State. They lost that game by 15 points, so they did not cover in the end. And it was their worst offensive showing for the season, that's for sure. They shot 4 of 23 from 2-point range, 17.4%, only 4 2-point field goals in that game. And they shot 5 of 27 from 3, 18.5%. That Sam Houston State defense is the real deal. And I do think that Seattle's going to struggle in this spot as well. It's a little bit of a different defensive scheme for Stephen F. Austin, a lot more aggressive. Sam Houston forces plenty of turnovers, but they don't really take too many fouls. Stephen F. Austin will take some fouls. We've seen that plenty of times this season, but they're 4th in the country in turnover percentage on defense. Pretty good perimeter defense. Not the best rebounding numbers, which I'd love to see, them improve on those defensive rebounding numbers, but overall, I still think Stephen F. Austin's offense is a little bit more potent than Sam Houston, so that's why I think the Lumberjacks have a good chance of winning this game. And Seattle, this is a very good team in Seattle. They're going to compete in this WAC conference, in the conference tournament as well, but these are very tough, true road games. Stephen F. Austin can pack that gym. I think they will. I think they're going to win this game handily, so give me Stephen F. Austin laying the points. And that's it. Those are the games for Saturday in college hoops. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bet, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.